All right, Rob Pincus here. We are in a parking lot in Utah, in Salt Lake City. We've been up in the mountains towards Park City for the last couple days. I've taught up at the PMA range for a couple years, probably 5 or 6 years now, as part of the PDN training tour. This is the first stop on the western leg. This is the last month of the tour, and today Tyler just got done with a 2-day CFS class. Now, you've done some other classes. You obviously are aware of everything that's going on in the firearms community. You've got some big news, but I'm going to put you on the spot. You went through your Class A as part of the PDN tour. What'd you think of the class? What'd you get out of it? And what can people expect if they jump into one of these classes as the tour finishes up?
All right, so one word I would say is enlightening. There's a lot of things that people learn out there and a lot of things that I had learned where Rob came in and he told us why some of the things we're doing were wrong and why some of the things that he's doing is right. And the thing that I loved about all of it was there was an in-depth explanation or two or three for every one of the skills and mechanics that he taught. So when we're done at the end of 2 days, we're all looking at all of these things that we've taught and we've been learning, and we know exactly why we're doing every little step that we're doing. And that's one of the things that was most valuable for me, because sometimes you learn something and you're like, okay, well, I guess I can do it this way. I don't know why I'm doing it this way, but now I know why I'm doing all of the things that you taught us, and that was super valuable for me.
And that's so important. That's gratifying to me to hear. It's what we value in all of our instructors is they can explain why. So at the end of the day, even if you didn't agree, I want you to at least understand why we do what we do. And because you were explaining some of your experiences in the past, all too often people go to a class and they ask why, and it's, well, that's how we do it. You know, unfortunately, a lot of the stuff that comes out of like the public sector, that comes out of large programs, is just here's the doctrine, here's how we do it. And one of the things we're doing with our new programs with USCCA, obviously everything we do with PDN, CFS, ICE, is we stress the why. So even if someone, it was a big diverse class, and we had some brand new beginners, and we had a lot of people who've been through a lot of training. You've been through some training, some really good shooters and some moderate shooters, people that left having developed, 2 or 3 times their ability with the gun, and people that got 2 or 3% better because they were already really good. Hopefully all of them understand why they're doing what they're doing, or maybe why what they were doing isn't what was best for them.
I think so, and I think whether or not they chose to change some of the things that were ingrained into their head, I think everybody knew exactly why you were teaching the way that you were teaching, and I would say for the most part knew why that was better than what they were doing. Maybe they were too deep into what they've learned to change at this point, but right. I think they knew.
And that's one of the important things we stress, right? Is you've been doing something for 10 years and it's working for you. Maybe you're going to keep doing it, but at least give it some critical thought. Don't just do it because it's habit. Now, you guys have done something new, right? And I want you to talk about Utah shooters. I've made a big push here. At the NRA convention this year, one of the big announcements was obviously, President Trump was there and he said, hey, you guys take it easy, because from the federal level, don't worry about anything. You're safe, you're covered. And obviously, a lot of people in our industry have become a little complacent because we've said, okay, well, I guess we're safe right now. But what we know is that a lot of states are still under attack. So I've really been stressing this idea of the state level organizations. And in New Jersey, we just had a great injunction in California. I'm going to be teaching in California in a few days, and they're going to have their standard capacity magazines at the class because they didn't have to burn them all or throw them all away on July 1st because a court stepped in. So there's still fights in New York. There's still fights, obviously, again, in New Jersey and California, all these places. But guess what? Even here in Utah, it's important to have a state organization that's interested in the grassroots level organization of gun rights proponents, people who are gun owners, people who are responsible gun owners. And I'm going to bring Caitlin, get in here. I'm going to take over camera duty here. You get in front of the camera. Now, Caitlin. Hey, there's Caitlin. You guys remember Caitlin from the Night of the Saint. She's been working with us over at Springfield, and she's doing a lot of cool things. And online, this is Second Amendment Mommy and Second Amendment Daddy-O. They're at the IG, and also you guys are on Facebook and all that, I'm sure. Yeah. So more importantly now, they're going to talk about Utah shooters, because you guys are doing this as a team effort. Of course, you're expanding your team. Which is why you weren't on the range with us in the 100-degree heat the last couple days. But talk to us about Utah Shooters. What is this all about?
So Utah Shooters has been around for a few years. We came in, we're the new owners as of about 3 months ago, and so we're just taking it to another level. We built a website, we have a membership, and we are going to be adding a lot of things to the website and to different programs that we're going to start offering in the next, I would say, couple years. We have, she's a full-time mom, I've got a full-time job, and so Utah Shooters is something we're going to be continually and maybe honestly slowly expanding, but our whole purpose is to be kind of a hub for shooting in Utah and to
for
build
the community, the gun owner community in Utah and surrounding areas.
Exactly, and build up a membership so that we as a group, as a community of shooters in Utah, could, when the time comes, have a say in helping legislation and helping different laws go through to preserve our rights as gun owners here in Utah.
Yeah, the bigger the community we have, the bigger difference we can make in that regard. And so we want to have a central place for people where they can go and they can find out information, whether it's for legislation purposes, whether it's for training courses, just a central place for the gun owners in Utah for all things, gun related.
Exactly.
Awesome. So one of the things I'm really passionate about is the idea that even in states where there isn't a lot of oppression of gun rights, even in states where there's constitutional carry, you still need to stay organized. You still need to stay motivated. I saw Alex Rubian just joined up, New Jersey Second Amendment Society. Those guys are oppressed. He's fighting all the time. Here in Utah, you guys aren't having to fight, but you're still staying organized. You're still staying motivated. I think that's awesome. Really well done today, by the way, in the class in the last couple of days. I appreciate you putting that work in. You owe me a class when you're in a different condition or when the weather's cooler or something like that. And thank you guys for tuning in. Personal Defense Network training tour. We've got some great sponsors. We got great classes going on. The PDN tour truck is obviously back in operation. PersonalDefenseNetwork.com. Learn more about our last few weeks of classes. I'll be in Nevada, California, Oregon, Washington, and we've got other instructors all over the country still teaching. About 12 different instructors are still active. Maybe about 20 more courses left. Some of them still have room. Check everything out. PersonalDefenseNetwork.com under the training tab.